Respected Ajahn, moderator Janyati, parents, and friends. I'm going to tell you about the childhood and education of Saint Gregorios. Saint Gregorios was born on June 15, 1848. He was the youngest son of his blessed parents, Butchess and Maria of the Parumala. He was baptized by the name of Gregorios at his home parish, the Malurthi Marthomas Church. Saint Gregorios has two brothers, Kirian and Vargi. He also had two sisters. Saint Gregorios' parents and siblings all live in Canada. However, after the death of their grandparents, the whole family moved to the Jodorowsky house, which was built on his father's ancestral property. Saint Gregorios was born and brought up in this house, and hence is often referred as the Parumala Thirumeni. He was the youngest in his family. They gave him the pet name Kuchibara. At the age of 5 years old, he started his formal education. His teacher was Onuk Aya, a local Hindu teacher. His respect for the teacher was so great that many times when Saint Gregorios visited his native village after becoming a high priest, he would personally contact and offer gifts to the Notsutu ashrams. And it is heard at those meetings he would not even sit in the presence of his teacher. Later, he continued his studies under the Mamuto Mani Ashram, a traditional village school. The place where Saint Gregorios started his primary education was later converted into a shrine in the name of Saint Gregorios. The foundation stone was laid by Metropolitan More Felicinos Paulos of Carnanan, Gregorios, on December 8, 1963, and a sacred relic of Saint Gregorios Federati was established here on June 15, 1866, by the Catholic Basilios. This place is located in the main roadside near Perunnal St. George Shimashana Church, and not much far away from the Malurthi Marthoman Church. The Perunnal Simhashana Church stands on the site where a small school was started by Parumala Thirumeni over 100 years ago, where he used to spend long hours in meditation and solitude. Kashiso Sambrito Palatitu Givargi Malapan, a known Syriac scholar and a celibate priest teaching Syriac and theology to seminarians at the Malurthi Church, was Saint Gregorios' uncle. Noticing his nephew's studious nature and noble character, Kashiso Givargis undertook his coaching. The boy studied theology and Syriac from his uncle, who was an authority in it. Proper guidance was given by Kashiso Givargis. He helped young Saint Gregorios to lead a pious life. Even at this young age, many observed a spiritual ability and intelligence in Saint Gregorios. He was more inclined to prayers, reading the Holy Bible, and listening to the stories of saints. The young boy was not very interested in worldly pleasures or the gaieties of life. He had a sharp intellect and a wonderful memory too. His powers and observations and insight were very keen and penetrating. At this young age itself, he was able to sing Syriac hymns in proper rhythm and diction. The influence of his uncle had an exceptional effect on young Saint Gregorios. His interest in spiritual matters grew day by day, and Kashiso Givargis, who was well aware about his nephew's spiritual thirst, wanted him to be raised in priesthood. Thank you.
A list of 4 children. So he had 2 brothers and 2 sisters.
No microphone. Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So we know that he was the youngest of 4 children, 2 brothers and 2 sisters. So they always refer to him as the youngest in the family. And his uncle, his father's brother, who was a very scholar in Syriac language, he's the one that took him under his wings and taught Thirumeni from a very young age. I believe at the age of 5. So the uncle also had a great influence, because at that time children got married very young, and there was a story that Thirumeni's father wanted to marry him off at the age of 12. But Thirumeni's desire was to remain celibate, and like his uncle, so he did get his uncle's support to do that. And later on his family understood that this was the right decision for him. At a young age, as Vanessa said, he was very inclined to prayer, to reading the Bible, and also to hearing stories about other saints as well. And then the last point is about his uncle. So the next speaker that I'm going to call up is Manisha, and Manisha is going to talk about the ordination of Saint Gregorios.